So this is my hatchback. It looked okay before, but there was a bunch of body work that I wanted to do and I never really got around to do it. So now that it's not really my daily anymore, I don't really need to drive this thing anymore, and I can still race this at the track even if it's all ugly or whatever. I decided to start to do the body work on it and then get it ready to actually paint it again. So Automotive Anatomy Gus kept on telling me to basically film the whole process of this. I filmed some of it on my camera, but I kind of got like discouraged because it just kind of sat for a bit and I didn't really touch it for that long. But I needed an ECU for it, but I finally got that. Finally got the ECU. I'm running a Honda S300 V3, and I just took the car out for a few pulls around the block and I'm hooked again. I forgot how quick this thing is. My hatchback has a H2B setup in it. Makes around 245 wheel horsepower, tuned by Derek Trogger over at DT Tune right there. My fastest time on the car is currently a 12.7, but yeah, I'm just waiting for the body filler to dry. Then I'm gonna sand it down and then work on the rest of it. I'm basically just doing whatever needs the most body work. It's pretty straight on this side, but the driver's side is pretty banged up. It had a giant dent right here in this quarter panel, so I drilled a little hole and I pulled the dent out as much as I could, and now I gotta fill the hole. And then this is my dog being nosy. What's up, boy? Yeah, so I gotta do body filler here. There's a dent here, and then the door is pretty much done. There was a giant dent right here, and then my friend came over, tried to weld up the holes that I made, pulling out the dent, but he ended up burning through it. And then the more that I look at the door, the more I'm just gonna get a new one. This thing is just gonna need way too much body work to actually make it usable, so I'm just gonna get a new door. The only thing that sucks is that this is a CX model, so I don't have moldings from the factory. So a DX, if I got like a DX model door, or even like a EX model from a coupe, it'll have moldings, and then I don't really want to, you know, fill in the holes for when you remove the moldings. Alright, so decided to jump back on the car the following day, and then I sanded down most of the body filler here. This is getting pretty smooth. Oh, sorry, I gotta speak through this freaking respirator mask. But this is getting pretty smooth here. I bought a sanding block so I can go over that, and then I'm sanding this piece down with my air sander, and then I still have this piece here. There wasn't really much body work that needed to be done here. There was just like small little dings and dents, so I wanted to try to make the wheel arch as smooth as I could. And then I'm basically going to be focusing on the passenger side since it needs the least amount of work. And then I'm going to try to work on getting the whole door primered pretty soon. I went out to the paint shop, and then I'm going to be shooting the primer with a Harbor Freight spray gun. And then I went and I bought a gallon of high-rise primer, or high fill primer, whatever you guys want to call it. And then so hopefully I can spray this, and I'll be able to sand it down and get that ready for paint. So yeah, like I said, I drove the car around and it felt really good, and it kind of motivated me even more to finish the car and all the body work and stuff. So I got the rear piece sanded pretty good. It feels pretty smooth and even. This piece is all sanded down pretty smooth. This piece here is pretty smooth, very smooth actually. Probably makes me want to go over these with a little bit higher grit sandpaper. And then I had a small little pinhole here, so I applied some spot and glaze putty, which, you know, it's kind of just like body filler except for like little small spots and stuff. So I'm waiting for this to yeah, it's pretty dry already, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sand this down and make this all even, and then I'm gonna test spray some primer on the areas that have Bondo or body filler, just to see if there's any high spots or any low spots, anything that I need to do before I primer the entire panel. But I think for the most part the passenger side is almost done. I'm going to be pulling off my fenders, pulling off my side skirts, and then I'll be pulling off my front bumper and the lip. The lip, I need to kind of work it a little bit. There's, you know, small chips, or big chips I should say, chip there, and then just rock chips all along it. So maybe I'll try to do some fiberglass work on it. I don't know if regular body filler will hold on to it, but I want to try to make that as smooth as I can. Okay, so there isn't very much primer in here. I think it's even too much for what I need, like way too much for what I need, but I just want to do some test passes on the panel, see if there's any high spots, any low spots, anything I need to redo. So I'll set you guys up and I'll film me spraying. Alright, so I laid the primer. It was perfect, the perfect amount that I mixed in there. So it's still wet, of course, but this should give me a good idea of how much more work this panel needs. I didn't want to do the rear quarter panel because I didn't want to tape up the glass. There's probably a little bit of overspray on the glass, but I'm more worried about creating more work in the future for the molding right here. I'm gonna have my friend Hoser come out and knock out the rear quarter panels. He's gonna knock out the front windshield, sorry, not the rear quarter panels, the rear quarter glass windows, whatever the hell they're called. But yeah, I'm gonna have him come over, take them out for me, and I'm basically going to refurbish this molding here. So see, the first time that it was sprayed, there was already like overspray on there and stuff, and in this little crack there's paint, and you know, over here it didn't get taped off too well. But hopefully this time around I can do everything as best as I can without having to take it to a shop. I'm really trying to do everything myself, from all the body work to primer, prep, and even to paint. So I'm trying not to rush this, but I'm trying to be on top of it as much as I can. I definitely am looking forward to doing more of this stuff, and it's very exciting, and I'm very excited to do it. Because if it comes out great, then hell yeah. And if it doesn't come out too great, then it's alright, because I did it myself. So I'm not even tripping too hard. Eventually I am gonna get the car professionally resprayed, but I'm going to do a completely different color other than white. The only reason I am doing white myself on this is because because the rest of the car is already white. I painted the engine bay on the car myself, so I feel pretty confident in being able to do the rest of the car. And even if there's runs, orange peel, whatever, I know how to cut and buff vehicles. I've been doing detailing for quite some time now, and I've cut and buffed multiple vehicles. So I'm not really too worried about the post process, I guess. You know, I'm just trying to get it done correct, well, as correct as possible, without getting it to a shop myself. So I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'll pick you guys back up and we'll see what's going on.